right, we're live. Welcome to Vintage Classic Solutions. I'm your host, EJ Parker. It's freezing. This is the most freezing day of the year so far. How cold is it? I think it's like 15 or no, I think it's 14 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a snow plow outside. You hear beeping. It snowed, and it's freezing. And this is beyond. This is the coldest. There's snow on the ground in my shop, aka the garage. Um, so I'm going to be shipping uh, basically two things. Got my labels. Gonna get my coffee and I'll be right back. Thank you for joining me. I'll be right back in 2 seconds. All right. The frankincense and myrrh outside the shop, burning. Still dark out. It's like 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome. It's cold. It's the coldest day of the year so far. This is crazy. But I have to do this. I have to pack this stuff, no matter what the weather is. When you're a one-man band, bam, it's on. So this is when the going gets tough. It's tough to get going. My coffee's gonna turn to ice in 2 seconds. I better just chug it. So I'll tell you a little story. I screwed up. This is the first time it's happened in five years where I missent an item to the wrong person. Like, I'll tell you the story. I sold an arrowhead and a plastic mid 20th century pawn from a chessboard, like a game piece, and they're both beige and they're both that big, and they're both wrapped up in these bags. And I did it live on camera, right in front of you. You should have told me, EJ, you're putting the wrong thing in the wrong box. So they're in the same size, like envelopes, same color item, same size. So I sold like last week. I sold it, shipped it, everything's great, and then I get a message through eBay saying, buyer says, "Oh, I bought an arrowhead, but I received this plastic chess piece." And then I knew, I screwed up. And I seldom screw up. First time it's ever happened to me on eBay. Knock on wood. But I didn't beat myself up. And if you're doing this kind of business, be easy on yourself because you're gonna make mistakes. That's how you learn. And plus, it was the same size, same color. I mean, it was like, and you could go back and you could go to my eBay Vintage Classic Solutions and hit what sold, and you could see it was the same night, and they looked the same. I mean, so I'm not beating. If it had been something else or maybe a different time in my life, I would have beat myself up a lot. But I was like, I mean, it was, any big box store makes mistakes, right? And the buyer was so cool. Thank you to my awesome buyer in Pennsylvania. This gentleman was so cool. Shipped it back to me. He said, "Don't worry about it. Mistakes happen." So I'm working on getting that arrowhead back. So what I'm gonna do is this. He is sending me back out of the kindness of his heart that pawn chess piece that once I get, I will send to the buyer that bought that, who has his arrowhead. Now, I messaged that buyer, but I have not heard from them. Who knows? Maybe they're on vacation. They don't check their messages on eBay. So they will get that. They will get their pawn, and I will make it free. Once it gets there, I'll give them a complete refund. So they'll have a pawn for free and my other buyer's arrowhead in their possession. Now, the buyer who bought the arrowhead, they were so kind and understanding and patient. That pawn, that missent pawn, is coming from them to me right now. So in recompense, I'm sending that person two pieces from my personal collection. This person has an affinity for Native American objects, so I'm sending them. If I can't, I told them if I can't get back the arrowhead that you purchased, I'm gonna make it up to you and do better. So this is a knife. This is a gorgeous blade. This is from the Archaic to Hopewell era. This is gorgeous. It's a gray flint. Hello. Hello, everybody. Good morning. And this is a drop dead gorgeous. Look at this point. This, let me try to do it more justice. This is a gorgeous arrowhead. These are from. Look at this thing. This is amazing. These are both from from an archaeologist that I learned a little bit about. I think they were an amateur archaeologist in the Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia area by the last name of Morris. And this person was pretty prolific, excuse me, in searching the area or these areas and finding a lot of stuff. So what happened was about a year ago, some dealer of antiquities on eBay acquired this whole collection by Morris, and it was amazing. So I just kind of went through their collection and bought what I thought were amazing pieces. I even bought a Hopewell pottery vase. It's made of like earthenware. It's an actual legitimate Native American stone. Like, it's not stoneware, but it's clay earthenware. It's like a big open mouth, round bottom vase. It was amazing. It's something that belongs in a museum, and I own it. And it's something I'm learning about. I don't really sell these things. These I'm giving away to help, right a wrong or a mistake that I made. So my buyer is getting those two for free. And hopefully I can get that arrowhead back to them, and then that'll be for free as well. So they'll have 3 pieces. But we'll see. How's everybody doing? Good to see everyone. Yeah, it is beautiful. Yes. This one is from Flint Ridge, which is a famous. It's a Flint Ridge in Ohio, like mid Ohio. It's a famous. Native Americans knew of it throughout the continent. Pre-colonial invasion, they knew of this Flint Ridge because they found specimen. It's only in Ohio, and natives would come from all over the country to get the flint. It was prized for its beauty and its durability and everything. So I'm going to pack those right now as we speak. And they can find, like trade routes throughout the ancient North America due to the flint and how it migrated. And the same thing with like obsidian. I think there's obsidian, which is like a black glass, a natural black glass that's found in Arizona. Specifically, I think in Arizona. And then, oh my God, my hands are freezing. They are ceasing to work. Holy. So they can find that obsidian in places like Ohio, Pennsylvania, which shows there were ancient trade routes, which is amazing. Wow, this is gonna be a challenge that my hands don't just turn to ice, and I mean that for real. I need to get my gloves. Oh, hot tamale. I'm gonna pretend it's really hot out. Here on White Sand Island, this snow is not snow, it's white sand. The fine white sand is like, it's freezing. I'm gonna just change plans here because I gotta find my gloves. This is freezing. This is 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So what else did I sell? I sold this. This is a mid-20th century tabletop lighter. I got this yesterday from Smokeology, a great place in Painesville, Ohio. I stopped by and they give me like bubble wrap and stuff they don't need. So they gave me this as well. They're like, "Oh, you sell antique and vintage? Here, take this, EJ." And I sold it. I think I made $10. I would have made more, but it's a little bit beat up. But I'm so grateful they gave it to me. So thank you. So that's going out today. I'm gonna use. Those are very collectible. So by the way, I know lighters are collectible. Some can be. I'm just gonna pack this box full of scrap paper for that lighter because I gotta get gloves. I gotta find the right box for the arrowhead. So yeah, lighters can be collectible, right? Old Zippos, old lighters with maybe like military emblems and stuff. But these tabletop ones, I know they were around, but I didn't know they were really collectible. This is an Evans brand. It's like an egg, imperial egg, I think is the model tabletop. I just had this for one day and it sold, so they're hot. It sold for I think $14 because of the condition, and it's untested. I didn't have fluid to test it, so I say that in the listing. Not tested with fluid, but it does spark. But those can go for $50 easily or more easily. So it's good to know that, because I do see those around, and they, and it's sold quickly. So that tells me, yeah, it's good. Keep your eyes open for tabletop lighters. Just gonna find a bag to wrap it, and then that's gonna go out right now. Well, I hope everyone's doing great. Please subscribe if you like antique and vintage. Happy to see you. Laminar Flow, yeah. Laminar Flow is freezing. Laminar Flow is my awesome mod that's writing a book. It's so cold right now. It's like 14 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm pretending it's warm, but it's, you know, it's an uphill battle. When your hand stops to work, my hands are freezing. Laminar Flow is freezing. All right, so I'm gonna stop complaining and get back to work. So this is a tabletop lighter that I just sold. So keep your eyes open for those. Mid 20th century or earlier, 1920s, 30s. I have another one they gave me too. They gave me 2 tabletop lighters, and the other one's inside the house. It's even more ornate. So, so thank you to Smokeology. It's so cold. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of cardboard to reinforce top. So I guess the moral of the story is, and I told my buyer, because I told the story that I messed up. I shipped an arrow. A buyer bought an arrowhead, and the same night a buyer bought a pawn, and I shipped by accident the pawn to the arrowhead buyer, and vice versa, because the same size, same shape. But the buyer of the arrowhead was so cool. They're sending me back the pawn. They're understanding that I'm gonna give them 2 things for free that are above and beyond what they purchased originally. They got reimbursed, they got their money back, and they're gonna get these 2 things for free. And hopefully I can get their original arrowhead back. But in recompense, they're getting these 2 great pieces from my personal collection. I even featured those on my channel, or I did over the summer. That's how, you know, I use empathy, because I'm enthusiastic about my antique and vintage and ancient items, very much so. You probably tell. So I would be just kind of like really sad if something like that happened. Like, oh, you know, oh, I was really looking forward to that old bottle or that gorgeous arrowhead. So I try to make it up, you know, and do better. All right, because we make mistakes. It's the first time I've done that in 5 years. First time. So, you know, I can't be too tough on myself. It's not like I shipped like a wheelbarrow, you know, to a person that bought a teapot. You know what I mean? It was like, they were like both the same size. Even the buyer was like, you know, I get it, that happens. I mean, it was like the same stuff, like white beige, same size, same dimensions. All right, let me make sure I have this correct. All right, this is the lighter. Where's the lighter going? Naples, Florida. I'm willing to bet every cent in my bank account, which there's not a lot, but there's probably a few, that it's warmer in Naples, Florida right now than it is in Northeast Ohio, because holy guacamole, my hand is ceasing to work. It's like frozen now. So I got to kind of work faster. This is going to be maybe a little bit of a shorter live stream just for my health. Because when you're so check this out. So like if you're reselling antique and vintage or whatever you want to resell, if you're a one-man show or like company, like if you get sick, you're super screwed. Because you get no income, you can't go out and pick, you can't pack stuff because you're freezing, you're sick. I mean, and like no one else can do it like you, right? Like I couldn't just be like, oh, you know what, I'm sick today, I'm gonna hire my buddy to come in and do this, because no one knows how I pack unless you watch the show. But it's like, it's kind of like a, you know, it's a science almost. And knowing where everything's at, like good luck with that. I'll go through all this crap that I love and like know where EJ put the knife or the tape. That would just it would be a nightmare. So it's all on me. You know, I made my bed and I'm laying in it, but I love it. It's a messy bed full of antiques. And if you love that too, please subscribe and like. I'm your host, EJ Parker, trying to convince myself with my imagination that it's not 14 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 84 degrees Fahrenheit, and the snow I see on the ground is white tropical sand. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is going out. All right, this is going to Naples. So thank you, Naples. This is all good, secure. Where's my to-go box? I always have a post office to-go box. Uh-oh. That's risky. All right, let's move ahead with those arrowhead. There's a blade and an arrowhead to make up for my mistake. Oh, it's so cold. Oh my gosh. This is next level. This is next level freezing my butt off. But this is what you guys do. You know, I had to go live and do this because I'm showing people this is like a life blog. This is a life blog because there's no antique and vintage, like category, and I'm not like a pompous academic. I'm not a pompous academic. I'm a real life person, just going through life and learning, bumping off the rails, trying to learn as I go, right? This is not going to work. So, if I say something wrong, if I make a mistake, we all make mistakes. I'm not trying to mislead anyone. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible with everything I do. But again, we all make mistakes. And it's freezing over there. All right, where's the right box for this? I gotta wrap this thing up. Right, freeze. Oh my god. But I had to go live. I'm like, should I just go, should I just like do this really quick? In 8 minutes and not go live on YouTube. But I have to go live. This is what it's all about. It's not all milk and honey when you're dealing antiques in Ohio. It's not all, Ferraris and Lamborghinis going down the highway. It's sometimes a little tough. But that's what, that gives you the strength to walk upstream, right? All right. Where's my boxes at? This is ridiculous. All right, I think I'm just gonna go. First thing I see, that's kind of the right size. I can't hear this. Come on, where'd it go? I just had one and I dropped it. And once you drop something in this realm of antique and vintage life, it gets kind of hard to find it. There's so much stuff in there. All right, I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make an envelope. So I don't have time, or I have time, but I don't have enough body heat to dig through that pile of cardboard to find the right size box for those arrowheads. So I'm just gonna make one. Hope everyone's doing great. So yeah, I decided to go live and just, because this is like the hardest part. Antique and vintage dealing, in my opinion, like right now is the hardest part. Only time it'd be hard if I was like sick. When it's this cold, it's dark out. Thank God I have all of you. For the past 4 years, I've been doing this alone, just talking to myself. For real. So, you're stuck with me, you know what I mean? Alright, so I'm going to cut this box up to make it a little shorter. And then today, what am I going to do today? What are you going to do today? You got to follow your dream. You got to follow your dream and make a plan to get there. If you have a goal in your mind or a dream in your mind, in your imagination, you're halfway there. You just got to take the right steps to get it. The other percentage is just like taking those, formulated steps to get there. Learn the theory behind your passion. Learn the history. Learn the mechanics. Whatever your passion is. Oh, my fingers are freezing. All right, so I'm gonna find some. I got some wrapping, like tissue paper. I'm sorry I can't read the chat right now because I'm focused on this because I'm literally freezing to death. Today I need to go look for more antique and vintage items and magical treasures. My brick and mortar endeavor, Timeless Treasures in Mentor, Ohio. We're open today. If today's Tuesday. I think today's Tuesday, right? So I'll be there. I think we open at like 11 a.m. I gotta set up, add some new inventory of great vintage and antique items. And then I need to go out and just look for more stuff, as always. All right, so I'm just gonna wrap these up. These two Native American gorgeous flint objects in this tissue paper, like so. And then I'm going to take these cardboard scraps and fold ends so I can create like an envelope. I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. So, as you can see, the arrowheads are in here in the tissue paper. I folded this on both ends, and now I'm just gonna wrap it. Check that out. And it's like a really clean, bam, right? We're doing the John Wick thing again. Whenever I grow a beard, it's like the John Wick thing. But I'm not complaining. He's a handsome, like, Keanu Reeves is a handsome guy, so I'm not complaining. I don't watch movies. I don't know. I know John Wick's like is he a bad guy or a good guy, actually? I think he's a good guy, right? Or like someone seeking of revenge. I read the storyline on Wikipedia. Like his wife, I got hair in my mouth. His wife was killed or something like that, murdered or he was like some orphan in Belarus, and then like later in life his wife was murdered. And he's like seeking revenge, and he's a gangster. I don't know. He got a lot of guns. Because I'll be showing like a collection of like antique toy cars, right? I'll be like doing a live stream of antique toy cars, and someone'll be like, "Hey, EJ, you got a gun collection?" Like, and I'll be like, "Oh, John Wick joke." I get it. So that's fine. It's funny though. I roll with it. I used to wear a suit and tie, like a tie, on some of my live streams to play the John Wick card a little more. It's funny. Oh my God, my hands are numb. Oh my gosh. Hot tamale on a Sunday morning. This is painful. But this is what you gotta do. It's better than having a boss. Trust me. The pain I'm going through right now, the intolerable pain in my bones and in my fingertips and my skin, is much more tolerable and enjoyable than having a boss with coffee breath, you know, breathing down your throat, micromanaging me. This is great. This is tropical heaven. This is tropical paradise. Wow, look at those pink flamingos walking by under that palm tree on that fine white sand. That's how I feel right now, not having a boss. You can feel the same. If you feel the same, high five. If you want to feel the same, you can do it. But you gotta work hard. I make a lot less money doing this, but I'm a lot happier. If that means anything to anyone. Alright, so I gotta get this crap out of here. Alright, and then I gotta, so this is going out to PA to my awesome buyer. Thank you for being so understanding and patient. In recompense, you're getting these two awesome personal EJ Parker collection Native American artifacts that I don't sell. I just give to friends and family. So this is giving to you free for my mistake. So thank you. All right. 7:15 a.m. Hope you're doing great. You're watching a middle-aged man freeze slowly to death in his garage, surrounded by antique and vintage items. There's got to be some entertainment value to that. You know what I mean? In this day and age. Doesn't matter what end of the political spectrum you're on, what religious creed you follow, your sexuality, whatever. There's got to be some entertainment value in this, right? This guy just freezing. He's all disheveled and cantankerous. And he rambles. You know what I mean? All right. Whoa. I'm happy the tape's working. Sometimes the tape doesn't work when it gets this cold. This is a higher quality tape. You get what you pay for, folks. All right. So make sure this label stays on. And then, what else? I think the frankincense, I gotta add some more frankincense. The myrrh, I burn frankincense and myrrh in the morning. Helps me focus and meditate, AKA pray. And the myrrh is like a tree bark, and it's really chunky, and that burns a lot slower. The frankincense are like little white beads, and those burn a lot faster. So you kind of, not fast, but faster than the myrrh. So you gotta like kind of replenish the frankincense while your myrrh's chilling. You know what I mean? Anybody remember Pauly Shore? The Weasel, the Wheeze, right? Remember like when you thought when you were like back in like what, like 1990 when you were 10, like Pauly Shore was the coolest person ever. And then like fast forward to like when you're 45 and you realize that he was the coolest person ever. The Wheeze. The beach, you know. I go back and read those quotes of his. Oh man, like on the Cito Man. Wheeze the it's so funny. Pauly Shore, man. That guy's awesome. Pauly Shore. Like there was a point like in pop culture where he was the epitome of cool. And he would say all this stuff like, oh man, don't harsh my grindage, bro. You know, like he's so much stuff. And he did it with such sincerity. He sold it. He wrote, oh man, it was awesome. Pauly Shore. He's still doing his thing, I think. But that was awesome. I hope you saved his money. You know what I mean? When you're in showbiz, you gotta save. Well, you know, you gotta strike when the iron's hot, but you gotta save your money. You know what I mean? You gotta make hay when the sun shines. You hit the spotlight. You do your song and dance, but you gotta put like, you know, like 70% of that away, because fame is fleeting. It's hard to stay on top. I got a little peek behind the curtain when I was living in China. I was touring and I knew famous pop stars. I worked with them. I talked to them. They talked to me. Things like that. And you see I was never rich or famous, but I was kind of like under that umbrella, and you see behind, and they welcome you behind the curtain, and it's good back there. It's nice. They got a lot of snacks and stuff, a lot of hors d'oeuvres. If you're into hors d'oeuvres, a lot of fancy cheese, and wines from France, right, and olives from Greece. That's all that kind of stuff. I got to see that, and you can do it too. The way I got to see that part and tour the world was by having a goal in my mind, and then taking the steps to achieve that goal, which I did in my 20s. It's kind of overwhelming in my 40s, like how much I did in my 20s and 30s. It's easy to get depressed in my 40s, like how the hell am I gonna top all that? You know what I mean? That's why I stay in shape, because I'm ready. I'm trying to stay prepared for the next opportunity, which can be around the corner any second in our lives, right? So can pitfalls. So we gotta be aware. You know what I mean? Like sitting with people, like people will say things to you that can either help you or hurt you. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like someone will say something to you at work or at the store, and it's gonna have a slant either to make you feel bad, typically, or to make you feel good. And the people that try to make you feel bad, you need to be aware of that. Why? So you can fucking ignore them, right? Some people are trying to say things to you to dissuade you to make you feel bad. Why? I don't know. I can't read minds, but I'm getting better at it. Some people may be intimidated by you. They may be intimidated by your looks. They may be intimidated by your talent or your intellect or your linguistic ability or your talent, your musical ability, anything. So they may act like you are not that. They may try to dissuade you because you are better than them. They want you out of the picture so they can keep doing the status quo in their life. They feel that you may disturb that because you have something more to offer. That's one reason that I witnessed more than once, many times in my life. And once you're aware of that, it's very easy to see that bullshit and do this, point, and keep walking and just totally ignore that person. But what you want to do, and what I'm trying to do, is lead by example, and really not just push them away, so to say, but try to lead by example and bring them in and share why is that person mad? Maybe they had a tough life, and be more empathetic. I think empathy, and some of my viewers say this, empathy, just treat others like you'd like to be treated. Empathy is so important, and I think it's, people say it, but to really go through to put yourself, in an empathetic mindset all day is you got to check yourself. Because I say this now on my live stream, and I want to practice what I preach, and I'm always saying it to myself. Like, you got to like do what you say on these live streams. You got to So if I'm out in wherever, and someone someone's driving slow, it's like, why what the hell? Why are you just so slow? Like, all right, just take it. Maybe they're sick, or maybe they're going to the hospital. Just have some patience. That's what I'm trying to exercise too. Because I think that'll make the world a better place. And that's not that hard of a thing to do. You know what I mean? But you got to focus on it. You got to have that focus throughout your day about being empathetic. You know what I mean? At least I do. It's not And I think the more you focus, the more it'll become automatic. I think. It's like kung fu. You know what I mean? Like no one's born a kung fu master, right? You got to work every day. Like no one's born this great theological Christian or Muslim or Jew. You have to work at it. You have to be. It's like a spiritual kung fu, right? You have to study and meditate and contemplate, and pray and try to find divine guidance for all these abstract words, grace, divinity. We know what they mean, but we can't close our eyes and see it. If I say bus or house, you can see it in your head, right? It's going to look different than mine, but we're looking at the same thing pretty much. If we say grace or even heaven, right? What do we see? It's like, we have ideas, but it's all just based upon artistic renderings. So that's, it's a lot. It's profound. And the more you think about it, the more profound it gets. And that's what I'm going through. And but you gotta do something, right? Because it's too cold to go out and look for antiques sometimes. So I've been reading a lot, which has been fun. So what else? My coffee's now frozen. Let me check the live stream. John Wick. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back inside because I'm freezing. This is going to be a quick live stream, and so be it. But I will keep you up to date with my adventures. I'll be doing more shorts today, and maybe going live or doing some videos from the antique store, Timeless Treasures. So as always, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe, and remember, it's always darkest before the dawn. Gotta hold on.